Have you ever wondered how to find true inner peace amidst the chaos of daily life? Buddhism offers timeless teachings that guide us toward acceptance and detachment, reminding us that what is meant for us will come at the right time. Through stories and parables, we learn to release what doesn't belong to us and embrace life's offerings with serenity. We discover that detachment isn't indifference. It's a profound freedom that allows us to live fully in the present moment. Join me on this journey of self-discovery and transformation as we explore how to apply these ancient teachings to our modern lives, cultivating a deeper, more conscious existence. Gentle music plays. Let's delve into the art of detachment, freeing the soul. Once upon a time, a monk was given a beautiful porcelain cup by his master. He cherished it deeply, admiring its elegance and keeping it close at all times. One day, the cup slipped from his hands and shattered into countless pieces. Overcome with emptiness, the monk grieved, but his master calmly said, "That cup was already broken from the moment it was made." Detachment is not indifference or resignation. It's the understanding that nothing in this world is permanent. How often do we cling to things, people, or situations out of fear of losing them? We hold on to relationships that no longer serve us, expectations that lead to frustration, and memories that keep us tethered to the past. We believe letting go means losing, but in truth, letting go sets us free. Buddhism teaches that suffering arises from attachment. In a constantly changing world, we seek security in external things, yet true security lies in accepting impermanence. When we understand this, we stop seeing loss as tragic and begin living with lightness. Think of a river. It doesn't cling to the water flowing through it, it simply moves forward. Likewise, we can learn to flow with life rather than resist its inevitable changes. How many times has life taken something away, only to give us something better later? Yet in the moment, blinded by fear and anxiety, we fail to see it. Practicing detachment doesn't mean abandoning what we love. It means loving without possession or dependence, enjoying what we have while knowing it may one day change. And when that change comes, we remain at peace. Detachment opens the door to acceptance, the next step on this path. Because once we learn to let go, we must also learn to embrace what life brings without resistance or struggle. Radical acceptance, embracing reality as it is. One day, a disciple approached his master and said, "I suffer because life isn't how I want it to be." The master smiled and replied, "You suffer because you resist what is. Life is not here to please you, it is here to teach you." Acceptance does not mean resignation or giving up. It means seeing reality clearly, without filters or self-deception. But why is it so hard for us to accept what happens? Our minds create stories about how things should be. We think if we fight hard enough, everything will fall into place, but life doesn't work that way. Imagine standing at the beach as a massive wave approaches. You can try to stop it, curse it, or resist it, or you can dive beneath it and let it carry you. The wave won't disappear just because you dislike it. Similarly, resisting uncontrollable situations only creates more suffering. Accepting life as it is doesn't mean resigning ourselves to harm or pain. It means recognizing reality without denying or dramatizing it. Once we accept, we can make clearer decisions about how to act. Consider the story of the archer. An expert archer can precisely calculate the trajectory of their arrow, but factors like wind, humidity, and movement are beyond their control. They can lament and grow frustrated, or they can adapt, adjust their aim, and shoot again. In life, much is outside our control. Acceptance empowers us to focus on what we can influence. Sometimes we resist reality because we equate acceptance with defeat, but the opposite is true. Acceptance gives us strength. It frees us from pointless struggles, allowing us to release what we cannot change and focus on what we can. The secret lies in shifting our perspective. Instead of asking, "Why is this happening to me?" we can ask, "What is this teaching me?" This simple shift transforms our experience, helping us find meaning in challenges that once seemed unbearable. Acceptance also means embracing ourselves, our strengths and weaknesses, our light and shadows. Often, our greatest battles are within ourselves, our mistakes, imperfections, and past decisions. Punishing ourselves serves no purpose. Only when we accept who we are can we truly transform. The monk who broke his cup came to understand that everything unfolds exactly as it should. In that realization, he found peace. So too can we. When we stop resisting what is inevitable, we uncover deep tranquility, and it is in this stillness that trust is born. Trust that what is meant for us will come, and what is not will naturally pass. In the following section, we'll delve into Buddhist stories that illuminate how life always provides what we need, even when we can't comprehend it in the moment. These tales of fate and trust in life's unfolding wisdom will inspire us to embrace uncertainty with grace. Stories of fate, trusting life's unfolding wisdom. Once, there was an old monk who lived a simple life in a remote village. One day, a magnificent wild horse appeared in his garden. The villagers gathered, marveling at its beauty. "What incredible luck!" they exclaimed. "A horse like this is truly a treasure." The monk, calm as ever, replied, "Luck or misfortune, who knows?" Not long after, the monk's son attempted to tame the untamed creature but fell and broke his leg. The villagers shook their heads. "What terrible misfortune," they lamented. "Now your son cannot work." Again, the monk responded serenely, "Luck or misfortune, who knows?" Weeks later, war broke out, and all the young men in the village were drafted, except for the monk's injured son. Once more the villagers returned, saying, "What amazing luck you have." And once again, the monk answered simply, "Luck or misfortune, who knows?" This story carries profound insight. Life moves according to rhythms and patterns far beyond our immediate understanding. Too often, we rush to label events as good or bad, failing to recognize that each moment is intricately connected to something greater, a tapestry we cannot yet see. How many times has something that seemed disastrous ultimately led to unexpected blessings? Perhaps losing a job opened doors to passions you hadn't considered. Or maybe the end of a painful relationship cleared space for growth and renewal. Life operates with a wisdom deeper than our limited perceptions. When we learn to trust its process, we stop resisting what we don't understand in the present. Buddhist teachings remind us that the universe takes nothing without reason. What departs does so because its purpose has been fulfilled. What arrives comes because we are ready to receive it. But embracing this truth requires patience and an open heart. Lessons from nature, the butterfly's struggle. Another tale tells of a man walking through the forest who noticed a butterfly struggling to emerge from its cocoon. Moved by compassion, he decided to help. Gently, he peeled back the cocoon, freeing the fragile creature inside. To his dismay, the butterfly emerged with weak, undeveloped wings, and it could never fly. The man didn't realize that the struggle to break free was essential for strengthening the butterfly's wings. By intervening too soon, he disrupted its natural development. How often do we act like this man, desperate to force outcomes before their time? We crave instant answers and quick fixes. Yet, life teaches us that the process itself holds meaning. Just as a farmer tends to his crops without pulling them up to hasten their growth, we must honor the timing of life's unfolding. Trust doesn't mean doing nothing, it means taking action while surrendering control over the results. Buddhism invites us to adopt the perspective of an observer. Instead of resisting or fighting against circumstances, we can meet them with curiosity. What is this situation teaching me? Though lessons may not be immediately clear, looking back often reveals the purpose behind every twist and turn. Accepting uncertainty isn't easy, but it brings freedom. It allows us to live with less fear and anxiety, savoring the present rather than obsessing over the future. For in the end, what is meant for us will find its way, and what isn't meant for us will naturally drift away. Meditation, cultivating inner peace amid chaos. On this journey of trust, meditation serves as a powerful tool for finding clarity and peace. In a serene Buddhist monastery, a disciple approached his master, burdened by restless thoughts. "My mind is a whirlwind," he confessed. "I seek peace, but the harder I try, the more agitated I become." The master smiled and handed him a glass of water clouded with dirt. "Shake it," he instructed. As the disciple obeyed, the water grew murky. Then the master said softly, "Now wait." Slowly, the dirt settled, and the water became clear. "This is the mind," the master explained. "When you allow it to rest, clarity arises on its own." Meditation is one of Buddhism's most transformative practices, offering a path to train the mind and discover inner peace. Contrary to common misconceptions, meditation isn't about silencing the mind or escaping problems. It's about observing without judgment, letting thoughts flow freely without attachment. We live in a world saturated with constant distractions, notifications buzzing, social media scrolling, endless news cycles, and relentless worries. Our minds rarely get a break. Meditation offers a sanctuary, a chance to quiet the external noise and tune into what truly matters within. Scientific research supports its benefits: reduced stress, improved focus, enhanced immunity, and a healthier relationship with our thoughts and emotions. But beyond these tangible rewards, meditation teaches us a fundamental truth: impermanence. When we close our eyes and focus on our breath, we witness the transient nature of existence. Thoughts arise and dissolve. Emotions swell and fade. Pain, sadness, and anxiety, all fleeting, like clouds passing across the sky. Many people resist meditation, believing they're bad at it because their minds won't stop racing. But here's the secret: the goal isn't to stop thinking. It's to observe thoughts as they come and go, recognizing that the vast, still sky of awareness remains untouched. There are various forms of meditation in Buddhism, but one of the simplest and most effective is mindful breathing. Find a quiet spot, close your eyes, and bring your attention to the sensation of air flowing in and out of your nostrils. Don't try to control anything, just observe. If your mind wanders, gently guide it back to your breath. There's no need to force anything. Another enriching practice is gratitude meditation. Each day, take a few moments to reflect on the things you're thankful for. This shifts your focus from lack to abundance, nurturing a sense of contentment and connection. Through meditation, we cultivate trust, not just in ourselves, but in the ebb and flow of life itself. By anchoring ourselves in the present, we learn to navigate uncertainty with calmness and grace. There's also the letting go meditation, a practice that can be deeply transformative. If something is weighing on your heart or mind, imagine holding it gently in your hands. Take a deep breath, and with each exhale, visualize releasing it bit by bit. Though simple, this practice holds immense power for shedding emotional burdens and creating space for peace. As we incorporate meditation into our daily lives, subtle yet profound changes begin to unfold. We react less impulsively to challenges. We experience more calm and clarity in everyday moments. Over time, we learn to live with greater presence, an essential quality for surrendering the illusion of control and flowing harmoniously with life. This brings us to the next step on our journey: trusting the universe and releasing the need to micromanage every aspect of existence. Letting go of control, flowing with the universe. One day, a disciple stood by the riverbank with his master. Observing the water's graceful movement, the master said, "Notice how the river flows without resistance, adapting effortlessly to every rock, bend, and shift in its path. It doesn't fight the current, it simply moves forward." So often we try to control everything: our relationships, our futures, even what others think of us. We believe that if we plan meticulously enough, we can sidestep pain and secure happiness indefinitely. But life isn't static, it's dynamic, like the river. And when we cling to what we cannot control, suffering inevitably follows. Buddhism teaches that true peace arises when we learn to let go, not out of resignation, but out of wisdom. Letting go doesn't mean abandoning effort, it means accepting that not everything depends on us. We can give our best, but we must also recognize that outcomes are shaped by forces beyond our grasp. We can love deeply, but we cannot force someone to stay. We can nurture our health, but we cannot prevent illness entirely. A Buddhist parable illustrates this beautifully. A man clung desperately to a tree branch at the edge of a cliff, terrified of falling. What he didn't realize was that solid ground lay just beneath him. Had he released his grip, he would have landed safely. But fear kept him suspended, clinging to the fragile branch. This mirrors how many of us live. We hold tightly to jobs that drain us, relationships that no longer nourish us, or expectations that only breed frustration. We're afraid to let go, believing it will lead to disaster. Yet paradoxically, letting go often opens the door to safety, growth, and freedom. But how do we cultivate the courage to release control? First, by embracing uncertainty as an inherent part of life. There are no guarantees, no foolproof plans. The issue isn't uncertainty itself, it's our resistance to it. Instead of approaching the future with dread, we can meet it with curiosity. What possibilities might life offer me? It also helps to remember that what feels like a setback is often a hidden opportunity. Some lose their jobs only to discover their true calling. Others endure the end of a relationship, only to find deeper, more fulfilling connections later. Life's threads are woven together in ways we may not immediately perceive. Another key to practicing detachment lies in shifting our perspective on outcomes. Rather than acting solely for results or rewards, we act because the process itself brings joy, like a painter who creates for the sheer pleasure of painting, regardless of whether the artwork sells, or a child who plays purely for the delight of play. When we operate from this mindset, life becomes lighter and more joyful. Meditation plays a vital role here as well. It allows us to observe our fears and anxieties without being consumed by them. Through regular practice, we develop the clarity to discern what we can change and what we must accept. Letting go of control doesn't mean leaving everything to chance. It means trusting that whatever arises, we have the resilience to navigate it. It means stopping the futile struggle against life's currents and learning to flow instead. And when we flow, something remarkable happens. Compassion blossoms, not only toward others but also toward ourselves. For letting go isn't just about relinquishing external attachments, it's about releasing the harsh judgments and self-criticism that weigh us down internally. By surrendering the need to control, we make room for trust, for faith in life's unfolding wisdom. In doing so, we open ourselves to a deeper sense of peace, connection, and freedom. We'll delve into how compassion becomes a guiding force that helps us live with more love and less suffering. A monk was walking along a quiet path when he encountered a man striking his chest in anguish. "Master," the man cried, "I've made so many mistakes. I've hurt those I care about, and I can't forgive myself." The monk paused, then replied softly, "If a bird breaks its own wing for making an error in flight, how will it ever soar again? Guilt is the stone that keeps us grounded. Compassion is the wind that lifts us forward." In Buddhism, compassion is one of the most profound pillars of practice. Yet, it's not merely about kindness toward others. It begins with learning to be kind to ourselves. Too often, we become our harshest critics. We punish ourselves for past missteps, demand perfection, and speak to ourselves in ways we'd never dream of addressing someone we love. But does this harshness truly help us grow? The truth is, it doesn't. Self-compassion isn't an excuse to avoid growth. It's the foundation that allows us to evolve without fear. A tree doesn't thrive by being struck, it flourishes when nurtured with patience and care. One powerful Buddhist practice designed to cultivate compassion is metta bhavana, or loving-kindness meditation. It involves silently repeating phrases of goodwill, first directed inward and then outward. May I be well. May I be happy. May I live in peace. At first, these words may feel unfamiliar or uncomfortable. Many struggle to wish happiness for themselves, believing they don't deserve it. But here's the truth, only when we learn to treat ourselves with love can we extend genuine love to others. Compassion also invites us to recognize that everyone is on their own journey of learning. No one arrives in this world knowing how to live perfectly. We all stumble, make poor choices, and act in ways we later regret. Yet if we remain trapped in guilt over the past, we block our ability to move forward. Clarification: compassion doesn't mean excusing harmful behavior. If someone mistreats us, we're not obligated to accept or tolerate it. However, responding with understanding rather than hatred brings peace, not because the other person deserves it, but because we deserve freedom from resentment. A Buddhist parable illustrates this beautifully. A man trudged along a road carrying a heavy sack on his back. Exhausted, he refused to set it down. A monk approached and asked, "Why are you dragging such a burden?" The man replied, "These stones are my grudges and resentments." The monk smiled gently and said, "Let them go. You don't need to carry them to continue your journey." This is how many of us live, clinging to anger, resentment, and old wounds. We mistakenly believe holding on to grudges punishes those who wronged us, but in reality, we're the ones weighed down. Letting go of resentment doesn't mean forgetting, it means freeing ourselves from the burden that prevents us from progressing. As a Buddhist master once said, if you hold a burning coal intending to throw it at someone, you're the one who gets burned first. Anger and hatred harm us far more than they affect those we direct them toward. So how do we nurture compassion when we've been deeply hurt? Number 1. Understand the pain behind actions. Recognize that people act based on their level of awareness. Someone who harms others is likely suffering in some way themselves. While this doesn't justify their actions, it helps us refrain from taking things personally. Number 2. Give yourself permission to heal. You don't have to carry the wound indefinitely. Choose to close that chapter and step into healing. Number 3. Recognize compassion as strength. Forgiveness takes greater courage than clinging to anger. Letting go demonstrates bravery, not weakness. When we embrace compassion, our lives transform. We stop reacting out of fear and start acting from love. Patience, understanding, and light-heartedness naturally arise within us. This shift not only deepens our relationship with ourselves and others, but also fosters harmony and peace with the world around us. Compassion is an indispensable part of the path to inner tranquility. Integrating Buddhist teachings into daily life. One day, a disciple walked through the forest with his master, feeling anxious. "How long until I reach enlightenment?" he asked urgently. The master responded calmly, "If you rush, it will take much longer. Walk with patience, and it will arrive sooner than you think." This encapsulates the essence of Buddhism. Transformation unfolds gradually. It's not about reading books, watching videos, or grasping concepts intellectually. It's about applying what we learn moment by moment in our daily lives. What use is knowing attachment causes suffering if we still cling out of fear? What value is understanding acceptance if we resist life's unfolding? So, how do we weave these teachings into everyday existence? How do we turn Buddhism from abstract ideas into lived experience? Here are practical steps. Number 1. Practice detachment. This doesn't mean abandoning everything or living devoid of emotions. It means enjoying without possessing. When something enters your life, welcome it with gratitude, but without clinging. When it departs, allow yourself to grieve, yet release it fully. Ask yourself, am I holding on out of love or fear? The answer will reveal whether it's time to let go. Number 2. Embrace radical acceptance. Each day ask, what can I accept today? Whether it's a challenging situation at work, a conflict with someone, or a flaw within yourself, stop resisting what already is. Only through clear acceptance can wise action emerge. Number 3. Trust in life's wisdom. Whenever something doesn't unfold as planned, recall the story of the monk's horse. Resist labeling events as good or bad too quickly. Instead, inquire, what lesson is hidden here? Over time, you'll see that every experience serves a purpose. Number 4. Commit to daily meditation. It needn't be lengthy or elaborate. Just 5 minutes of mindful breathing each day can create profound shifts. Observe your breath, letting thoughts drift like clouds. Don't expect instant results. Over time, you'll notice fewer reactions and deeper understanding. Number 5. Release the need for control. Do your best, but relinquish obsession over outcomes. Like the archer who shoots without fixating on the target, flow with life instead of forcing it. When plans falter, ask, how can I adapt and flow with this change? Remember, the greatest gifts often arrive unplanned, emerging when we're open to receiving them. Number 6. Cultivate compassion in action. You don't need grand gestures to practice compassion. A small act of kindness, a word of encouragement, or even a warm smile can brighten someone's day. Above all, extend compassion inward. Speak to yourself as you would to a cherished friend. Replace self-criticism with gentle encouragement. Life is a continuous journey, not a destination. Don't aim for perfect enlightenment. It's not about arriving somewhere but walking consciously. There will be days when you forget these principles and react with attachment, fear, or frustration. That's okay. Growth isn't linear. What matters is returning to these practices again and again. Buddhism isn't a theory, it's a lived practice. Mistakes will happen, and that's part of the process. Every day offers a fresh opportunity to apply these teachings, to let go a little more, to trust a bit deeper, and to live with greater peace. If this exploration resonates with you, consider subscribing to continue uncovering transformative insights. Together, let's embark on this path of wisdom, compassion, and fulfillment.